Okay, greetings, brothers and sisters. The dodgy truther sent me that's kind of funny. I think it's definitely funny. Kind of disturbing. Um, but this is a Reddit post that some guy wrote, and it says here: 6 years back, my parents joined a spiritual meditation group called Sajmarg, which is now called Heartfulness. Initially, I was skeptical about the group, but didn't stop them. But didn't stop them because they're not asking for money or focused on meditations. I thought, what could go wrong with meditation? Later, COVID happened, and one day my parents watching a video of Master called Dodgy, Kamlesh Patel, D. Patel. He was speaking in English, which they partially understand, and telling his devotees to cure COVID by Netta Kira. As you know, many Indians believe if someone is speaking English, it must be true. Um, neti pots are good. Like this person's, mainstream, probably science-based person. Neti pots are. I told my parents to stop listening to this man. This is BS. They ignored me. Fortunately, next day, newspaper debunked the myth of neti and told people to stop believing it. Then they somewhat listened to me. Neti pots are. It's you're washing your sinuses from whatever's in them. Like they're not. But whatever. But this is the good part. In 2023, a girl on KBC comes and tells our national television that she can read blindfolded by smelling it, which is thought by Heartfulness subgroup, which is a thought by Heartfulness subgroup, Brighter Minds, everyone mesmerized by the demonstration on KBC. I called this BS again, told them that she is speaking by smelling it with the hole near her nose, and told them it is already exposed on stage by Narendra Narang, president of the Federation of Indian Rationalists Association. Later that episode, we're withdrawn from the most place. Some Sony apologized for airing it. So he's talking about the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. For months later, my father told me that it is not a scam and he has seen it live. Now his whole devotee group is going to promote it in local schools and make them join, as this is a paid program already running all over India. I told him, stop doing this. You got scammed and now you are scamming people. But he had very heated conversation multiple times. He told me, you will understand this is a spiritual thing, even knowing I am the most educated person in the family. Recently, one of my loving relatives also put his son in his blindfold reading program by Brighter Minds, by my father now pushing my niece into this. Initially, the scam of blindfold reading was called by the name midbrain activation. Later, they changed names because of Googling midbrain activation comes up with many exposing videos and links. I'm ashamed and frustrated of my gullible parents. Um, so I sent this to my wife, and she, on her own, I didn't tell her to do this, gave a link to this channel. If the person shows up here and watches this video, the Sajmark system was wonderful. I've been doing it for 30 years, as you guys all know. And Dodgy came and turned into a fraud. There was none of this shit when Chargy, the previous master, he was like a service-oriented person. He spoke 29 languages. He was a successful businessman, and he was the most competent person I ever known, a legitimate spiritual master. And he made so many people's lives better. And the three previous masters, they're a long history, but you guys, see how he's destroyed. Kamlesh has destroyed the reputation of Sajmark because smart people are not falling for this shit, and people outside of India, for the most part, I know most Americans and most know this is bogus. I have a bunch of clips. I'm not, Kamlesh has censored me, as you guys all know. They won't allow me to play their clips exposing their BS, but they had all these gatherings in America, so-called spiritual gatherings where they rolled out these kids, and the kid got caught cheating a bunch of times, right? One of the kids. And so, this is how Kamlesh has dumbed down the system, where, he's finding people who are, whatever they are, simple people, and not educated, and people who are scientific in their orientation, or Western, or who are, they're just not going to buy into this. I mean, it's a known scam. Anybody who does any critical thinking or has any ability to research on the internet will find out that this is a scam. And suppressing the information like they've done by, like, copywriting anything that I put up from their bogus, their channels or whatever, is not going to solve the problem, because smart people are not going to be into this, right? I'm going to put this in my Journey series as well, the 134th third edition, the 153rd edition. And so, like, it's kind of funny, but not, but this is what's happening. Like, people are seeing this, and he's destroying the reputation of this organization, the Sajmark organization. And eventually people all kind of realize, lots of people realize this is a scam. And I don't know, he's got all these politicians locked up and involved in this. And, we don't know how, the system in India is so corrupt. But, just public opinion at the very least. And then, all these Abhyasis, former practitioners or practitioners of the system, they know. Like, they already know now, and they're going to, they know that this is like, Dodgy just absolutely sucks. Like, he's a horrible person. And he's, like, really stupid. Like, this stuff is, only a stupid person would do this. Amongst the many other scams, right? As I always say, that Dodgy has turned this into a cult. And there's no reform cults. Like, there's no coming back from being labeled a cult. The idea, the cult word is out there with heartfulness. And people are using it and, feel like that way. And you don't come back from being a cult. You don't come back from cult-like behavior. Oh, yeah, we used to be a cult. Like, we used to be a cult, but we're better now. You just don't do it. So he's wrecked. The Sajmark system of meditation's been around since, what is it, like early 1900s. So the organization of Sajmark started in 1945. But it was actually before that Lalji was, the first master of the system, was training people for free at his house. But it became a, registered organization in 1945. And so that's 80 years. And all the stuff that has, all the, wonderful things that were built, the ashrams and the, all the sittings that were given, all the books, all the great literature that was published, and all the change that was done for people, transformed my life and many other people's lives. And it's all been pissed away by Dodgy being a complete dope and a con man and a scumbag, right? I mean, just really bad. Like, it just, embarrassingly so. And there's no coming back from that. Like, even stuff, this person is linking neti to brighter minds. A neti pot, I mean, many of us have used them for years. I use it from time to time. I have allergies. And it works, right? It's effective. This kid doesn't believe in it. That's, whatever. He's a science mainstream person. But everything that Dodgy has now touched is compromised. Every video he's made about this or that and the other thing, because of this stupid brighter minds crap, and then his anger and bitterness towards Chargy and his complete collapse of the system, right? And so, I don't know how this is all going to play out, but I do know that the organization will never recover from this. Like, it's no longer going to be considered legitimate because, the previous master did nominate Dodgy. He's a legitimate president of the system. And the stuff that he's done is just so stupid. I mean, I want to use the R word here. It's just, like, really stupid. Like, just beyond any explanation. These things are going to, more and more people, the reputation is being ruined. And, like, this Reddit post, like, how many people read this Reddit post and just things like it, so it's, and the people in the organization see this stuff because they do. And, they know, like, they already have their doubts. He doesn't care as long as he keeps on getting away with his scams, and he's too locked in, and, I don't even know what's going on with him. I think there's brain deterioration and stuff. Anyways, just thought I'd share that with everybody here. Only spirituality will save this world. It's paramount, definitely important for the apocalypse and the ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.